Hi, it's Ashley from AB Sound Advice. Wow, today we are doing a product review on the German Maestro GMP8.300D professional headphones. As I mentioned before in previous German Maestro headphone reviews, German brand, been around for a very long time, and it is a commercial product. So it's always very cool doing professional products because even in my experience, as you know, I've been in this for 40 odd years now, I did very well with other brands that have actually had commercial headphones, and a lot of people like them because it just gives you, it's always great that the public have an option to go down the commercial road. They are a completely different sounding type of headphone, so you know they tend to be more neutral and providing as close to the sound as possible, because you can imagine these are made for professionals and studios and all sorts of professional use. Now, straight off the bat, we'll quickly just cover off, like always, the specifications of these headphones. These are a closed headphone, so they're also frequency response is 20 to 27.400 Hz. We are dealing with a weight of 220. Again, very, very light. Comes with a cable terminated to a 3.5, and it provides a 6.3 adapter and 3 meters of cable, and that is quite traditionally normal in the commercial world. So these are a professional pair of headphones. So straight off the bat, you would all, anyone who knows me knows I love cables, and when they was first handed to me, they're going, we can't wait to hand these to Ashley because let's just see what he says about the cable. And yes, I'm going to tell you about the cable. Holy Moses. Now, the standard cable this comes with, you can see it is a serious cable. It's at least twice the thickness or 3 times the thickness of a traditional cable. You can see there terminated to the 3.5. And again, in the commercial land, what they tend to do is when they provide this adapter, it doesn't just plug in, it screws in. And the reason they do that, and then it can't detach. So if you're wondering with that, you won't push in, just thread it, and it locks it in. And wow, what a fantastic cable. And the 3 meters, it's always great having that extra length. And you can imagine they're plugged into a sound console, but for domestic use, for home, it's great just having that extra bit of cable, to be honest. Most headphones are at 1.2 to 1.5, and to get 3 meters is just fantastic. You can see hard wide, there is no plugs or connectors. It even says in the description, which I thought I'd cover, obviously it says acoustically closed, high quality headphone will also withstand the harshest treatment. Now, again, you can see by the construction here, these are designed to be dropped, knocked, bashed, because they are a commercial product. So if you're going to be giving your headphones a bit of a hiding, you're certainly not going to go past this particular model here. And it's got obviously labelled right, and then the other one obviously doesn't need a labelling. It's really nice clamping force, nice and light. And as I said, I'll just grab the rest of the cable up. You can see here, it is a decent set of cable, decent length of cable, and again, the quality of the cable, outstanding. It's probably one of the thickest cables I've ever seen on a standard set of headphones. It's truly sensational, and you can see fully adjustable, but it's all fully protected, and you can see there they're designed to take a bit of a knock, and when they're on their head, you can see they're, not that I'm saying that you'd be putting these out in the rain, but there's really, you can't see any entry points. If they're on your head, they're fully sealed, and even these areas here are hiding in the adjustments, so everything's protected. And yeah, no, German made. You're certainly not going to go handcrafted in Germany. You're not going to go past these. And again, in this part of the world, they're about the 329 mark, and for that price point, they are fantastic. And they're, again, this is a closed headphone, professional commercial headphone. And you might say, well, you know, why would you be wanting a commercial headphone? Well, to be honest with you, they are going to perform very differently to your domestic market, and they're designed obviously for engineers and sound technicians and people who are dealing in the music industry. So and for them, what's important, they have to be long lasting, and they have to be able to take a knock, and they also need to be, well, what would you call it? I would say very neutral. So anything that's been played through the console needs to be able to hear. They also need to be able to take a bit of a hit with the volume. There are 300 ohm headphones. You certainly won't be plugging these. Well, you could plug them into a phone, but you really need a headphone amplifier. And most, as I said, because commercial use, they're plugged into a console. They're already well and truly able to cope with a 300 ohm headphone. So let's just get into the sound of these. So for sound quality, they're very detailed. The voices are fantastic. The bass is there. It's not an overstated bass. It's not understated. It's just going to replicate whatever you send to them. And as I've said before, there's audiophile, hi-fi, and stereo headphone. This is definitely a hi-fi / audiophile headphone, and obviously for that reason, I mean, it is a commercial product, so it's designed to provide all the everything that's coming out of the console needs to be duplicated in a way that the tech can hear if there's any changes. And would I own a pair of these is the other thing. Like, as you know, I don't rate things 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. Absolutely. The big trigger for me, of course, I absolutely love the cable, and I love the 3-meter cable. And also, it's great having a closed headphone if you're wanting to listen to music with not being able to hear any of the noises around you, where with an open back, at least you can hear somebody calling you a little easier than if you don't. But remembering, in a commercial environment, there's a lot of noise around, so they need them to be closed, and so that the sound's enclosed in the actual ear cup. So I think the best way to cover this off is if you're looking for a professional headphone and 329's around where you want to play, you're not going to go past these. They're a fantastic headphone, and they really are a very, very detailed headphone. I'd have to say they're very detailed. All the instruments, the voices, they duplicate the songs really, really well. I've run these obviously through headphone amplifiers. I haven't run it through a phone because it's not designed for that. And on all the headphone amps that I ran this through, I was actually absolutely very, very impressed. And again, for the $300 mark, that's a lot of sound. It really is. I mean, in the domestic market, it's probably going to be knocking on the door of a $499 or $599 headphone. So very, very nice. So if you'd like to find out more information about the German Maestro GMP8.300D professional headphones, you can duck onto hifihq.co.nz for New Zealand or hifihq.com.au for Australia. And of course, if you'd like more information, just search German Maestro, and it's the GM8.300D. And wow, you would not be disappointed. Would I own a pair of these? Definitely. And as you can imagine, they are just a very different headphone. This is the sort of headphone I'd probably use in the workshop for testing. It wouldn't bother me if they got knocked and bashed about, because that's what they're made to do. And they really are a fantastic sounding headphone. So I hope you've enjoyed today's product review on the German Maestro GMP8.300D professional headphones. And again, thank you for tuning into AB Sound Advice, and we'll see you next time.